I love My Hero Academia. I love everything about it. I love the art style, I love the characters, I love when they do the big punch, but there's one thing that I don't love about it, and that's the fact that nobody ever dies. I mean, I guess that's not technically true. There was Koda's parents, Shimura, Night Eye, some dude named Snatch, and then Magni, but two of those five characters died off screen, and the other three were pretty inconsequential. But they aren't afraid to kill off civilians. I mean, this is just a rough estimate, but I'd have to put that at least 2.5 9/11s, just to be a safe number. So obviously My Hero Academia is willing to kill off a couple people, but what I really mean when I say nobody dies is that nobody ever dies when they should. There's been more than a few times while watching this show that a certain character is set up to die and they really should have died, but then they just don't. Maybe you'll get what I mean more if I give you an example. The first example I can think of is during the Eraserhead and Nomu fight. At this point in the fight, Aizawa can't even stand on his own. His arm has been skinned down to the muscle, and his face is bleeding so much that there's actual puddles of blood on the ground. Yet, for some reason, Nomu doesn't just flatten his head into the ground. We know he's strong enough, we know he can do it at any moment, but he just doesn't. However, I think this is the one time I'm gonna give it a pass. This was really early on in the show's lifespan, and killing Class 1A's homeroom teacher right away would have been a pretty risky move. Also, Aizawa is the best teacher in UA. Next is Ingenium. Near the end of the sports festival, we begin getting hints at a character called the Hero Killer, and he sounds really cool and threatening. Like All Might had said to Shigaraki, at that point, the League of Villains were mostly amateurs. So, seeing a villain known for murdering heroes sounds really dangerous. And he is. When we finally meet Stain, he's standing over the corpse of Ingenium. Wow, this is really interesting. The first time we see this guy, he's already murdered a sibling to one of the main characters. This guy means business. Actually, Ingenium survived, and he's only paralyzed from the waist down. Why? Why not just kill him and make Stain look more threatening? In a later episode, they try to tell us that Stain let Ingenium live so that he could pass on a warning to other heroes. But what's stupid about that is that people already know about Stain. People have already heard about the Hero Killer, and that he, kills heroes. So, tell me again why sparing Ingenium was necessary? And if Ingenium had died, that would have given Ida an even better motivation to get revenge on Stain, because he murdered his brother. I also think that this made Stain seem a lot less intimidating, because we never actually get to see him kill anyone. We just hear people talk about how he kills people. Last but not least, there's Best Jeanist. Now, Best Jeanist isn't even that important to the story. He was the number 4 hero, and he was Bakugo's internship hero. But he was mostly just used for comedy. However, despite his minimal screen time, there was always something that I liked about him. Despite his weird look and way of teaching Bakugo, he gives off the aura of being very experienced in his profession. And that's proven to us when we see him attempt to restrain All for One, and then when he saves Mount Lady and Gang Orca within a second. That's why it was honestly really sad for me when he got shot by All for One. I mean, look at him. That definitely pierced his vital organs. His stomach is never gonna work again, plus he's bleeding like crazy. Oh, come on! He doesn't even do anything after this arc. You could've just let him die! I'm sorry, I just get really passionate on this subject. On a more serious note though, I just can't imagine why Horikoshi would keep him alive. If Best Jeanist had died there, we'd not only get to see how brutally effective All for One was, but we'd have a character that we care about die instead of just thousands of faceless civilians. To be fair though, this is pretty common when it comes to shonen anime and manga. In Soul Eater, there was this scene where Soul gets cut down the entire width of his body and then lives. Let's not forget that at this point in the story, he's only 14 years old. There was also the scene in JoJo's Part 4 where Kira punches a hole in Koichi and he seemingly dies, but is able to cling to life with a giant hole in his stomach until Josuke heals him, and it's like he never got turned into a donut in the first place. And just for fun, let's include the amount of times people get stabbed in Dragon Ball Super.
He's draining me. Are your ears malfunctioning? I forbid you to press that! And now the feast. Just die!
Is his weapon.
Say goodbye!
And out of those, guess how many of those people died? You guessed it, none. My reason for pointing out all these non-My Hero Academia examples is to show that this is a widespread problem in anime and manga. At this point, fake-out deaths are such a normal thing that people have come to expect them whenever a character seemingly dies. Look at Infinity War. Even after the creators have said that every death in that movie was permanent, literally no one believes them. I mean, Spider-Man's second movie is already getting news revealed, even though Peter Parker got turned into the contents of a pixie stick. To sum it all up, if you want people to actually care about a character death, keep them dead.